Thanks, Naveen, for helping us walk through your Pinterest doc. First off, I want to say who you are and what people should feel or learn after they watch this video.
My name is Naveen Gavini, and I lead the product team at Pinterest. And I've been at Pinterest for quite a while. I joined when there was just 10 people at the company and kind of been through the journey of growing and scaling the company. And we released a Pinterest pyramid OKR template on Coda, which is a really great way for you to be able to track your goals using the OKR framework. And what we kind of realized as we scaled the company was that the interconnection between goals, the company at the strategic objective level, down to the team level, and all the way down to the individual level felt a little bit fragmented. So what we've been working on is a way to interconnect those things and for each individual to see how their goals ties to their team's goals, which ties to strategic objectives, which all the way tie to our top line company goals. A system like this, as we scaled, became more and more needed. When we were early on, it was really easy to kind of say, hey, here are the few things that we want to achieve. But as we grew and scale, and now we're over a few thousand employees at the company, it's really hard to kind of know what are all the goals the teams are working on and how do you fit in. So the pyramid OKR tracker starts to build this pyramid that creates this interconnection of goals.
Do you want to walk through some of like the big portions of the template
Sure.
and how Pinterest uses it on Coda?
Yeah. So at the start of the template, you'll kind of hear our history and our journey. And so if you're interested in that, that's on kind of the front page. If you go to the OKRs tab on the tracker, what you'll see is you'll see a high level overview of two things. You'll see the pillar OKRs, which are basically our strategic focus areas for your organization. You could have your own strategic areas of focus. And so these are generally called big rocks. Sometimes they're called strategic focuses, but this is kind of the effect of that. And then below that, you can actually see the team OKRs. And so you could see how the different teams kind of ladder in, and you could see the parent OKRs that they contribute to. This is a really nice page that gives you kind of an overview of that. And then if you click in, you can actually see each team. So here is the Pinner team, their team OKRs. We've created almost these hub pages for teams where folks that are within the company can kind of look at what are all the OKRs that the team's going after, a little bit about the team as well. You can kind of see how those things kind of ladder up. And this is a great way for at any point in time, if you're curious about what a team is working on, their progress to goal, you can kind of go and take a look at that. And we have a cadence that we use that we talk about in the document, but you can use your own cadence of how you want to check in on these goals and how do you want to update them at what periodic time frame.
Speaking of teams updating their OKRs, what's like the main mechanism for teams to do that in this template?
You can take a look at the cadence and review section. And this is kind of the operating cadence that we generally use, but we kind of check in on our weekly business metrics in a weekly basis. And then every month we have folks across the company update their OKRs. And so they update their progress. And then built into the document, what's really cool is that these cadence and review tabs, so you'll see one for tech, RG, ADV, these basically pull together all the status updates and kind of create a really nice fact pack that you can look at of just like how you're doing relative to goals in that pillar. And so we check in on that on a monthly basis and we kind of discuss progress and we understand where things are going well, where things aren't, and make adjustments accordingly. The last thing that I thought was really interesting is if you go to the My Goals tab, one thing that's awesome here is that you can start to see goals specifically filtered down to a personal level. We use the DRI concept, so meaning directly responsible individual for a particular goal. And so this is a great way to see what are the goals that an individual has and what are the things that they're working towards. So this is a great way to see your own goals, kind of like aggregated across all the different areas. And so I know in a lot of organizations, there's a matrixed organization where you're contributing to many different pillars, many different strategic objectives. And so here, it's a really nice way to kind of see that all in one place.
And then when you hit on this update status button on every single OKR, you can fill this out as a way for teams to provide an update on an ongoing basis.
Yeah, that's right. And so we make it really easy. I think Coda is especially good at this, where it's super easy to update. People can kind of go in and post their updates, and then other people can kind of find out about it in the relevant views that they have.
Perfect. Thank you so much for walking us through the template. And is there anything else you want to say about it?
No, hope you enjoy it, and I would love any feedback and builds on it. I would love to see other people's templates that make it even better.
Perfect. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Al.